What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Dirtnation Off-Road. So today what we have for you is some lights installed. So got some that were left over from our 10K special that we didn't install, so we're gonna be installing those, as well as some ditch lights. So let's check out what we got. So got both of these. They're from Westin. Got the HyperQ B-Force. These are ditch lights, which I currently have ditch light mounts on the truck, and I have ditch lights, but they haven't worked for years. Even before Dirtnation was started, these things they sucked, and you know, I had them there for looks, but now I'm gonna have some that are actually functional and actually work. And then the other ones that I have is the rock lights, and you guys have seen these before, or I did talk about them in one of our install videos that I was eventually going to put them on, and that's going to be today. If you're wondering why the truck's on jack stands, we're currently going through re-gear. That video is going to be completely separate. You guys can see that. I don't know if it'll be done before or after this, but we'll see. But I'm going to get started on getting this stuff mounted up. We'll start with the ditch lights, then we'll start working on the rock lights, and then wiring after that. Let's get to it. So I'm going to open these up. Got paperwork as well as instructions, pretty straightforward. And then it comes with its own wiring, which is always nice. And then it has some additional connections. No, it doesn't. Just kidding. These are the wiring for the lights themselves. Come on, get out of there. There's our light. Very nice. It's got 4 LEDs in there. And then we'll start taking a look at the mounting system and how to put these together. So these are actually pretty straightforward. It's just got this little U thing going on, and then that'll mount inside here, and then from the sides you bolt it in. And then on the bottom you have a little rubber pad. You throw that on there with, I keep dropping stuff, with the nut on the bottom, and then in between will be your actual ditch light mount. Take the Allen, stick that in there. Okay, now it makes sense. Okay, so all you have to do is drop your bolt in the little slot right there. As long as it's facing the right way, it'll be the perfect amount of space to where you can start fitting this Allen key in here, and then you'll get the nut into the bolt, no problem. It tightens itself because it's like the perfect amount. It's actually pretty easy. A little confusing at first, but I get it. So drop that sucker in there. Grab your Allen, stick it in right there, and then it just bolts in, no problem. Pretty smart. I like that. There it is. Those are good to go. Then we have the other hardware. Let me open up the wiring real quick so you guys can see what's in there. It's pretty basic, standard stuff. Comes with 2 extra female connections. I'm guessing that's if you have your own like system in place and you want to kind of do that. Pretty standard stuff. Has the two male connections. That'll go to this female connection, and then it already has a fuse, a positive and a negative, and then there's a button in here somewhere. Where's that button at? Right here. But you can disconnect these and use the buttons for, you know, put on your own system, which is what I'm gonna do eventually. But let's go take off those old crappy hella value lights and then install these Westin ones. So take these off, it's actually pretty easy. It's just a 13, you unbolt that, and then it's gonna slip right out. And then these Cal-LED raised, or whatever they call it, mounts that I picked up, got them online. They just hook up to the 2 bolts for the hood, and then take off that side too. And then it's the same thing to put the Westin ones in. Pretty easy. Look, it's already loose. Simple. Gotta take out this wires right here. Cut this fucker. Get off it. All right. Wow. And we're out. So they smartly designed these with a little notch inside here, inside there, which will hold the bolt into place so that you can tighten it from one side and you don't have to hold both sides at the same time. And you can see on here, got the light, a little rubber piece with the bolt sticking through. You literally just stick it through there like that. We're gonna feed the wire down, and then we're gonna put the washer, or the lock washer, in the nut. All right, so they're on. I still have to tighten them. I'll say that side was a biatch, and that's because Snorkel Gang just didn't have enough space for my big old hands to get in there. Nothing special about it, you just kind of have to install them. But I'm going to start tightening up and then tighten up the edges and stuff, point them the right way, and then we'll get started on wiring. All right, gonna get started on the wiring. It's pretty straightforward. You literally just take these male connections right here and you plug them into your females. You know, just good mating practice. And there it is. They plug right in. So they have a short side, which is the side that goes to driver, and then there's a long side which will go to the other side on the passenger. Got our negative, throw that sucker in there and rebolt it back up. Undo that. We're going to stick this one positive side. Here's our button. Both are working. We're good to go. It's really that simple. Now that we're done with the ditch lights, we're going to get started on the rock lights. Now the rock lights, a little more complicated, but still fairly simple. So you have the 4 lights themselves, which are all right here. They all come with, they all have little 3 LEDs on there, and then a wire connection at the end. And then your wiring harness has 4 different wires, has a relay, and then has a switch. And all of these run the amount of length that you need to go to all 4 corners of your vehicle. Comes with 2 different types of mounts. One of them is a flat rubber mount, which is what you'll use if you're just going to put it flat, up or down or whatever. And then they have these curved mounts. So these are the ones that I'm going to go ahead and use, so I can put them at a little bit of a curve. You guys will see that. And then comes provided with hardware. It's just 8 self-tappers. So we're going to use a drill, and then we're also going to, you know, just drill them in. Then we're going to be good to go. So we're going to start over there, work our way around. And then you'll need zip ties to zip tie underneath to keep everything stable, and then just wire it up like we did with the last lights. Let's get to it. So showing you how the mount goes on there. So ours is gonna go up like that. So, and then the light will feed through here. So there's a little piece where you'll slip the wire in, pull the wire through to where it's tight on there like that. And then your 2 self-tappers will go here and here. And this one's gonna mount right here. So it's gonna go just like that in the wheel, and that's gonna allow it to illuminate the suspension as well as give light outside the tire. I'm gonna put it right about there. Now the only thing that I'm a little worried about is tire rub, but I am getting some new bump stops to kind of cure that. So we'll see how it goes. So right about there. They're on there. So that's how it's gonna look. We're gonna feed the wire up through here. Gonna do the same thing for right here. This is where we're gonna mount it. And then we have a hole coming up to feed through the wiring. Very good. This one's in too. Freaking solid. And same thing, gonna stick the wiring up through there. We're good to go. All right, getting started on this side. Don't mind the noise. I'm watching Flacco's live stream because Flacco's a G. But I'm gonna mount mine on this bracket right here. So I already drilled the 2 holes, and then the bracket is just gonna mount on the bottom side, and I had them on the side just like that. So we'll drill that in there. This one's done. It's honestly really super easy. Once you find your 2 holes, you just drill those self-tappers in. Good to go. And then this wire is gonna direct down here to all the wiring that's gonna run across the bottom of the vehicle. All right, last one is in. Same thing. You just drill your hole and then 2 bolts go in and you're good to go. All right, got our wiring harness. So here's a positive and negative. You know, got the battery right here. I'm not gonna hook them up yet just till we get some of the rock lights actually going. So what I'm gonna do is between these, 1, 2, 3, oh, it's 4, it's 3, and then it splits into another 2 down here. So I'm gonna find the absolute shortest one of these, and that's gonna be the one closest to the battery, which from the looks at it, it looks like these are the 2 fronts. So toss that one to the passenger side, and then this is gonna be our driver's side. So here's our connection from the rock light. Zoom in, Dustin. Dustin editing this video. Zoom in right there. Notch, and then it has another notch. So you just make sure those line up. There it is. And then go ahead and screw that on there and take the gloves off. It really is that simple. So there's the first one. The first one's wired up. So here's the other one. Same deal though. Gonna have to zip tie all this, make it fancy. Maybe I'll buy a large tube thing to kind of connect everything. But same deal here. Both of these have a little notch. You make sure the notches matches up. And you plug those in there pretty good. And then your threaded piece will thread on there like that. And then at this point, your two rock lights in the front are done in terms of wiring. Now these two long ones, we're gonna run this down the engine bay, underneath the vehicle. We're gonna start zip tying and then run it to the two wires over there. You see the wiring coming down here from the driver's side wheel well. So I'm gonna lead it alongside this wiring. So this wiring runs all right here alongside the frame, and then it goes all the way to the back of the vehicle. Run it through underneath the frame where the body mount is. And like I said, I'm just leading it all along this wire over here, and then we reach the gas tank. So the gas tank is where it's gonna get a little interesting, because I gotta wire it over there, and then I gotta wire it across to the other wheel well. But you can see the other wire hanging right there. That's for that rock light. So we're getting close. Should be good. Fed the last two wires through this body mount, so we'll be able to connect the driver's side rear one, and then we still got to feed this across. Okay. Now that one's good to go. Got the last one fed over the gas tank, and this is not my proudest spot to zip tie, but it's all I could really find. So I got that, and then we're gonna run this one above the exhaust, over the frame, and then the last wire is hanging down there somewhere, and then we'll find a nice secure spot, probably to this wiring harness right here, to zip tie it, and then we'll be good to go. All right, got the last one connected, so there it is up there. Got the wire leading right here. Here's our connection, same thing, follow the notches, screwed it on, zip tied right here, and then I have the zip tie right here, and I pulled all the slack tight and tucked it behind this heat shield so that the exhaust doesn't get it too bad. But just being right here, we should be good to go. All right, still got to clean up the wiring a little bit, but I just want to make sure that they work. So got them hooked up. That's good to go. Gonna hit the switch and let's do the walk around. Got 1, 2 on, 3 on, 4 on. Good to go. Love it. So ditch lights are all done. Rock lights are all done. And then maybe on a future video we'll go over the mess that I have in here, because currently I have 3 switches. We're gonna end up with a total of, I believe, 7, because we have the long light bar, we have the grill light bar, the ditch lights, the lights underneath, the rock lights, the air compressor, and the air locker. So 7 total. I know we're gonna be using a couple of these, and then I have the button right here. That's gonna be my LED grill one. I gotta get that, and then I bought the bracket that goes in here so you can mount some switches inside there. So we'll go over that on a future video. Before wrapping it up, just want to give you guys a quick walk around, kind of showcase how the lights look. So I only have the rock lights and the ditch lights on, and as you can see, they illuminate the floor pretty good. It's pretty dark outside, can't really see much. Not really. I mean, street lights are real far away, so this is kind of the only thing giving light right now. Now you can see down here, illuminates everything very, very well, so that if you need to work on your vehicle at night or anything, these will be really good for that. Also, if you're recording footage at night, which obviously we like to do ourselves some night runs, this is good for that as well. Good stuff. But that is a wrap on the ditch lights and rock lights that we picked up from Westin Automotive. Now look forward to a future video where we test these out. Maybe we'll go to Big Bear or something like that, where we can really show the benefits of having lights like these. because honestly it's a lot of lights and I never really had this many, but I can see the benefits when trying to record video at night. But we'll link those below so you guys can check them out on your own. But other than that, I want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. So I was on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Patreon. You also hit us up for shirts at dirtnationoffroad@gmail.com. But other than that, thank you guys. See you again next time.